What up, y'all? It's your man D Real, the Black Panther stalking the urban jungle in vibranium Adidas, bringing you another Be Real with D Real. What's up, realists? As you can see from my background, we are getting ready to do a Godzilla versus Kong movie review. Now, let me tell you right now, from Rip, there are going to be spoilers. There are going to be a grip of spoilers. There are going to be a grunch of spoilers. That's a combination of a grip and a bunch, a grunch. There are going to be spoilers. So if you, and you probably haven't since it just came out today, unless you were in Hong Kong somewhere or overseas, you probably have not seen Godzilla versus Kong. You might have gotten the leak that leaked out on online, like these things always do. But I don't want to talk about that BS. I want to get to the movie. Okay. First of all, first and foremost, Godzilla versus Kong should have been called Kong versus Godzilla because the majority of this movie is about King Kong. King Kong is on Skull Island, where we left him last, and he grew to epic proportions, and he's big enough to give Godzilla a run for his money. And they need to relocate Kong to somewhere where he won't tear everything and everybody apart. So they're trying to find a place for him to live. Meanwhile, Godzilla's on a rampage because he has detected another alpha titan. Initially, we are thinking that the alpha titan Godzilla has detected is Kong. But as we find out, as the plot unfolds, we discover that the head of Ghidorah, the monster that was slain at the end of Godzilla King of the Monsters, is actually being utilized to power Mecha Godzilla. But we'll get to Mecha Godzilla in a minute. Again, not only should this movie have been called Kong versus Godzilla, but Kong should simply be called that, Kong. I know for the longest time, King Kong was what everybody called him. But in order to be a king, you got to be running things. And in order to be a king, you've got to be the king of the mountain. Now, if you aren't aware of what Godzilla versus Kong is about, it's not about the people, it's not about the premise. And if you've ever watched a kaiju, that means giant monster, movie, you know that these movies are not about plot. So we're not expecting a whole bunch of plot. And if you are expecting a bunch of plot, you need to go somewhere else. Godzilla versus Kong is 1000% escapism, meaning whatever troubles you got going on, the Derek Chauvin trial, Asian people being beat up, or whatever kind of shenanigans are going on planet Earth right now, sit them joints aside and just sit and enjoy this movie, because there is a lot to enjoy about this movie. Got a little star power in the movie, even though we not wanting to see stars other than Godzilla and Kong. You got Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. You've got Alexander Skarsgård from True Blood. You've got Brian Tyree Henry, who's going to be playing a role in the upcoming Eternals movie, and Julian Dennison is a New Zealander who you may recognize from Deadpool 2. He played the role of Fire Fist. Yeah, that little guy. Now, I know what everybody's waiting to hear. I know what you're waiting to hear. You don't want to hear anything about Godzilla versus Kong except now, like I said, I get that this movie is epic, but what we're really wanting to know, Godzilla versus Kong, who won? Who's the king of the monsters? Who's the top dog? Who spanked who? And how bad did they get spanked? You really want to know? You really want to know? Do you really want to know? Do you really want to know? Godzilla fans, do you really want to know who won this fight? Kong fans, do you really want to know who won this fight? The director said before the movie came out that there will be a definitive winner of this fight. Now, y'all understand something. This is a well, when we say definitive winner, we automatically think one of them's gotta die. Godzilla or Kong has to die. That's not true. You do not have to die for somebody to thoroughly kick your ass. You could just take that whooping. And essentially, what happened? Kong got washed. And now I'm gonna break it down for you before we go. That's just an opinion. That's not an opinion, baby. That's a fact. Okay, here's how the movie went down. Okay, we got to get Kong off of Skull Island and get him somewhere that he can call home. Okay, so they find out about the Hollow Earth. So we're gonna take him to Antarctica so he can go to in the Hollow Earth entrance there, and maybe there, he can have a home there. But we also know, as soon as he get out on the open seas, Godzilla is coming for that ass, and Godzilla's show came for it. Now we already know Godzilla is just as at home in the water as he is on land. Now, a lot of what we see when we're talking about Godzilla versus Kong is this image right here. But what we should be seeing is this image right here that they show in Hong Kong. Exactly. King Kong looking like red on Friday after Debo stuck him one. Exactly. We on the boat. Kong he kind of handling his business while they standing on the boat. But soon as Kong falls in that water, Godzilla's all over him and basically just kind of wraps him up like a Christmas present and is just going to drag him down to the bottom and let him drown. Kong needs a save from the humans to get out from under that. So, y'all tell me, if we in the water fighting and I'm almost drowning you, did I take that round? I would say Godzilla took their first round. Now, the second time that they meet up is in the city in Hong Kong, fittingly. They square off in the middle of Hong Kong, and by this time, Kong has his axe. Yeah, that one. It's made out of the dorsal fin of a Godzilla. Ooh. So if you like me, and I was pulling for Kong, I ain't gonna front, you figure, oh, Suki now. That axe is gonna be a game changer because of that scene in the preview where we see him jumping in the air and that axe is absorbing all of Godzilla's atomic fire and he busts Godzilla across a dome with that joint. Why Godzilla's head didn't split open like a watermelon is beyond me. Godzilla must just be a little tougher than that. But there was this big resounding explosion that knocked them both aside and laid Godzilla out. And Kong stood up like, yeah, that's what's up. Now, I would kind of say Kong took that round, because he's got the assistance of opposable thumbs. But here's the thing: Godzilla tanked that shot. He got up from that shot, and not only did he get up from that shot, he got up from that shot and proceeded to tear bark out of Kong's ass. Okay. Tossed him around like a rag doll, dislocated his shoulder, beat him down, put his foot on his chest like, punk, what? I'm Godzilla, king of the monsters. And then just at that point, Mechagodzilla decided to make his entrance. And boy, did he ever make an entrance. Mechagodzilla came on the scene while Kong was laid out and proceeded to wash Godzilla. Yeah, Mechagodzilla was on him like a dirty shirt. Godzilla beat him like it was Michael Jackson's Thriller album. He beat him like a red-haired stepchild. He beat him like your mama beat you when she see you got some F's on your report card and tell you it's gonna be me and you after school. Oh, that was just me. Okay, that was just me. But bottom line, Godzilla versus Kong, the finale turns into Godzilla and Kong because it takes expertise and skill that only Kong has to help Godzilla bring Mechagodzilla down. And the large part of who whooped Mechagodzilla was actually Kong. So how does that work? I mean, in a fight, I can beat you up, but I can't beat him up. Okay, and in real life, I mean, that actually happens. I mean, you can run into somebody who has your number, but then that person has somebody else has their number, and that's essentially what happened. Bottom line, it was an amazing movie. Like I said, pure escapism. If that's what you're looking for, is escapism. It's there. Interesting things to peep out, and it's just me. It's the kind of things I see. Wasn't just me, but in Godzilla King of the Monsters, when Godzilla used his atomic breath, his eyes didn't glow with that same nuclear energy, did it? I have to go back and watch Godzilla King of the Monsters to make sure. But Godzilla's eyes even glow when he uses his atomic breath in Godzilla versus Kong. Another thing that might trip y'all out, Kong can talk. What? Yes, Kong is throwing out sign language like crazy. Him and the little girl who you see in the previews, they've had sign language conversation, and Kong done told her, I don't trust humans. I don't like them. I think they up to something. Kong sound like he could be a brother. But on top of that, just like I mentioned earlier, Godzilla, the King of the Monsters, what was that, 3 years ago, 2018? It wasn't very well received. From a review, from a critic's point of view, from a monetary point of view, it was not considered a successful movie. Godzilla versus Kong, however, it had a Metascore rating of 62%. Joe Blow gave it an 8 out of 10, and it got 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. So Godzilla versus Kong has already wowed the critics. The movie took 200 million, an estimated budget of about 200 million to make. On opening weekend was overseas, guys. Us presumptuous Americans, we always think we get everything first. Nope. China got it before we did. And opening weekend in China, Godzilla versus Kong opened to 69.2 million and a worldwide gross of 123.1 million. 123 million in a week, and it just opened nationwide in the United States. I think Godzilla versus Kong is well on its way to being far more successful than Godzilla King of the Monsters was. The only thing missing from this movie is the dub. We saying the dub? You know, when people have mouths moving, but it's not moving to what they're saying because they've dubbed over it already. That's what I missed. That was the only thing missing from Godzilla versus Kong. It was an amazing movie. It was paced well. There wasn't too many boring human moments. That's what I like to call them. Because in a movie called Godzilla versus Kong, I should not be seeing a bunch of humans. Not too many humans. Give me enough humans to drive the story. And that's kind of what they did. They didn't go too overboard with star power here, star power there. It was, just enough, enough to make the story go. Now, overall, not counting plot because Godzilla versus Kong isn't supposed to be about plot. Overall, my review of the movie, I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, that's how entertaining and engaging I felt the movie was. It kept my attention, and I was watching it sleepy, and I woke up like, oh my goodness, did he just do that to Kong? And like I said, I will simply call him Kong from now on. He is no king, and Godzilla ain't a god either, for the record. Presumptuous Americans again. His name is pronounced Gojira, not Godzilla. That's us not understanding what the Japanese people were saying when they were talking about this monster kaiju called Gojira. But overall, it's a great movie. It's a great romp. It's great escapism, and your man D Real 100% recommends it. Like I said, it's a solid 8.5. Check it out. It's good. And after you check it out, do me a favor, man. Come back here to the Be Real with D Real page in the comments below. Tell me what you thought about the movie. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, was my review spot on, or am I just whistling Dixie or showing too much favoritism because, I might be a bit of a kaiju nerd. That's it for right now, y'all. That's all the entertainment and movie reviews I care to give today. This has been Be Real with D Real. I will get back at y'all with another interesting topic. And until then, y'all be good and be good to each other.